Manchester United kick off 2023 with a home game against Bournemouth in the Premier League. After back-to-back wins against Wolves and Forest, we're up into 4th position in the top 4. That's where we want to finish this year, but we could jump to 3rd if we beat Bournemouth on Tuesday night and the result goes our way between Newcastle and Arsenal. What I'm going to do is run through Bournemouth's recent results, their starting 11 against Palace in a 2-0 defeat at the weekend, and also Manchester United's starting 11 for this game. Lisandro Martinez is expected to be back. I can't wait to see him back in, but look how good Luke Shaw's been playing as an auxiliary left centre-back. Looks like we've got a backup there for Lisandro Martinez. I'll run through each position, speak about Martial, Anthony, Rashford, Martinez, Shaw, every single person. Make sure you drop a like on the video, and let's dive into the video. As I said, Manchester United are heading into this game in 4th position after 2 really important wins. 2 different types of wins. Really controlled victory against Nottingham Forest and a tough game away at Wolves. But this game here against Bournemouth, if you're looking at these fixtures, right, we always do it. Oh, Man United playing Wolves, Forest and Bournemouth, that should be 9 points. Rarely do we actually get those 9 points. But we should be getting these 9 points. Having a look at Bournemouth's recent results. Look, you have to go the whole way back to the 12th of November for the last time they actually won a game. They haven't scored a game since the 12th of November, let alone let alone won a game. That's when they beat Bournemouth. They beat Everton 3-0. But look, just scroll back. Beating Everton. No, not beating Everton. 4-1 there. In the league, losing to Leeds. In the league, losing to Spurs. In the league, losing to West Ham. In the league, losing to Southampton. Bournemouth are, 16th in the table? Now, they lost 2-0 at the weekend to Crystal Palace. And if we're looking at how they're going to play against us, look, they've got Kiefer Moore, they've got Dominic Solanke, they've got big physical strikers. They're going to be playing that sort of football, 5 at the back. It's going to be a game that Manchester United should and could control. We should be having the majority of the possession, playing more like we did against Nottingham Forest than we did against Wolves. Now, this was the starting 11 that we played against Wolves. It was a game which worked out. You know, it's a game where Manchester United came out on top thanks to Marcus Rashford's goal from the bench. And I was so impressed by that. I really, really was. The fact that he didn't have his head down after being dropped for oversleeping, which I can relate to, Marcus. But look, let's run through every single talking point we have ahead of this game. And I really want to take this opportunity to say how impressed I've been by Luke Shaw at left centre-back. With Lisandro Martinez out of the team, we worried. We questioned what would happen there. But I think Luke Shaw has basically given Erik Ten Hag an option I don't think Ten Hag felt he had. He's kind of been forced into this situation to try him out there. But Luke Shaw, yes, it's only been Nottingham Forest and Wolves. But still, 2 clean sheets. And Wolves was far harder task than it was against Nottingham Forest. I think he's really impressed. But there's a certain player that's going to be back inside this team, I believe, against Bournemouth on Tuesday. And it should be Lisandro Martinez. And I can't wait to see the World Cup winner come back into this starting 11. So there's quite, in my opinion, there's quite a straightforward change that happens. Although I've been very impressed by how Luke Shaw has been playing there, I also think we kind of miss Luke Shaw going forward. I'm going straight back. It's not our start. We don't know what's going on with Diogo Dalot. Whether he's injured or not, I'm sure Erik Ten Hag might give an update on him. But I think even if he is but I don't think he'd risk Diogo Dalot for this. I don't think he'd risk him in the midweek. What is the FA Cup got coming up against Everton before we have Charlton in the League Cup? We might not see Dalot until City. And Erik Ten Hag might give him the chance to recover. But in my opinion, it's quite a straightforward thing. Luke Shaw, as good as he's been playing at left centre-back, Martinez is our best defender. Martinez comes straight back in as soon as he's fit. And therefore, Shaw goes back to his natural position. So I think everyone wins. Tyrell Malacia has been playing okay there, but he's just not quite Luke Shaw there yet at fullback. Now, that's what I think should happen in defence. I don't think anything else is going to change. In midfield, I don't think we're going to see any change. And I don't think we need to see any change. We've got a settled midfield 3. Out of the 3 of them, I think it's Casemiro who really is playing not out of his skin. This is his level. He's not playing out of his skin at all. This is just what we should be expecting of a player of that quality, and he is delivering. And I tell you what, Luke Shaw being able to keep 2 clean sheets at left centre-back, it helps that he's playing alongside Varane, but it also helps he's playing behind Casemiro. He's making a big difference to this team defensively, organisationally, structurally, in every sense of the word. Casemiro is the bollocks. Now, Christian Eriksen's been playing slightly muted, I would say, compared to how he was playing before the World Cup. He was the most instrumental player. I wouldn't drop him. I wouldn't take him out of this team. I do still fear about what happens across the course of the full season if Eriksen plays every single game. And we do need to find a genuine, decent alternative to him. Now, Van der Beek's been playing in the last couple of games. He's come on and played a little bit further forward than what Christian Eriksen does. But Christian Eriksen starts this game, and I'm sure at some point he'll take it up a notch. But we have to be resting him for the games against Everton and Charlton, in my opinion, and keeping him prime for City and Arsenal in the Premier League. Now, in midfield, a man who I think has been playing extremely well all season long is Bruno Fernandes. And I'm bored of having to defend him. But again, Bruno Fernandes made a big difference. It was his 1-2 with Rashford for that goal against Wolves. He is the architect of our football going forward. He is the risky pass taker. He is the one who sets the tempo in attack. And he is the one who ultimately, 9 out of 10 times, is the player who finds that final pass that requires that precision in the final third. Said final quite a lot there. Bruno is our captain. Bruno should be starting. And there really are no questions about it. And Erik ten Hag, I think, loves Bruno. And I do too. So in terms of my defence and my midfield, I'm going for that. De Gea in goal. Martinez and Varane as the two centre-backs, our starting centre-backs, back in. And we need that ahead of City and Arsenal. Shaw left-back and Wan-Bissaka right-back, who continues to impress in Dalot's absence. And midfield 3 doesn't change either. Bruno, Eriksen and Casemiro. Playing Bruno a little bit further forward. Now, it's an attack where there are genuine questions to be asked. Now, Martial, I have to admit, I wasn't impressed by how he played against Wolves. It wasn't just his... It was more his positioning. It just seemed like he was just off the pace. A yard and a half behind where he should have been. Pretty much every opportunity. Second to every ball. A little bit slow in reacting to passes. His movement was off. His position was a little bit off. It was just an off day. Complete off day for Anthony Martial. I don't think he drops out of this starting 11 though. I think if we're taking a look at what our options are and what Ten Hag has, he needs Martial to be firing this season. And that's why I think he's going to keep him in that team. I think we're going to be seeing Martial start there. And we need him firing. He got a goal against, was it Nottingham Forest, I think it was? But Martial, man, need to be sharper. And I imagine that's what Ten Hag said at half-time. Now, it's not just him who had a bit of an off game. Anthony. He still doesn't take his man on. He's becoming too predictable. And he's not taking as many risks as a winger should be. A winger shouldn't be scared to take risks. If they lose the ball, we lose the ball with the final third. We've got 3/4 of the pitch to win it back before it gets towards the goalkeeper. Anthony has to have... I don't know whether that's coming from Ten Hag, whether that's coming from his own confidence, but he has to try and take his man on more, and he has to try and find that final pass more. As well as taking some more shots. His shots have dried up. I've no doubt across the course of the season that Anthony will continue to be an effective player for us, but he's not being an effective player at the moment. And that's where the question is asked about Anthony or Garnacho. Which one of those two will drop out of the starting 11 for, of course, the returning Marcus Rashford, who is our guy. He is the main man in attack. Whether it's playing off the left, off centre forward or right wing, he's playing across all the positions at the moment. He's really setting the tone. I'm so impressed by Rashford. For me, this is the best Rashford we've seen. And it might be a bit early to say that, given how well he played in the 2019-20 season. I don't personally think it is. He seems more complete now than he was before. Now, it's the question, as I said, who do you think should be dropped for him? Alejandro Garnacho or Anthony? Because whoever is dropped for him changes what position Marcus Rashford plays. If it's Garnacho, it's quite simple. Rashford's going to come out on the left wing, which is where he scored from against Wolves. But if it's Anthony, you're going to be seeing this. You're going to be seeing Anthony drop to the bench, Garnacho keep his spot there, and Rashford go out to the right wing. And I think I'm inclined to go for that one. Because Garnacho, if I'm looking at players who impressed against Wolves in that first half, it was only Garnacho. And I thought it was a little bit unfair to take... No, not unfair. I was surprised that he got taken off. So I'm going to go for Anthony dropping to the bench with Rashford starting out on the right and Garnacho on the left. And never did I actually predict in my life that I would be saying that Rashford should be starting on the right wing. But United's attackers are kind of chopping and changing and fluidly moving between left and right. And it seems to be working. Rashford is in such good form, I'd expect him to have an impact on the right, like he did for England at the World Cup. So that will be my starting 11. That back five there of De Gea, Shaw, Martinez, Varane and Wan-Bissaka with a midfield three that just doesn't need to change of Casemiro, Eriksen and Bruno. And a front three of Garnacho, Rashford and Martial with Anthony dropping to the bench. Who gets in your team? My prediction for this game, I want a carbon copy of Nottingham Forest. I want a 3-0 comfortable game where Bournemouth don't really threaten, where United control with Martinez back in defence. I back us to get this next clean sheet. Although going up against Kiefer Moore, who's like 9'6", might be difficult, but we'll find out. You let me know who will be in your starting 11, what your predictions for the game are. And also, if you're still here, I'm going to take the tree down soon. But what do you think should go there? I kind of want to put something else on the table. Maybe take the studio to a new little different place in 2023. Any suggestions? Slide into my DMs on Twitter or Instagram. But look, take it easy. Make sure you drop a like on the video and subscribe if you're new.